Imagine playing Tomorrowland in Ushuaia when you're 21, releasing songs that hit over 100 million streams and traveling the world doing what you love. But deep down, you feel completely empty. That was me in 2017, and it's why I walked away from the music business. But this isn't just a story about leaving. It's a story about mental health, self-belief, and rediscovering your true purpose. Because after losing everything, from my career to all the money I made in music, I had to rebuild myself from scratch. And years later, music found me again. In this video, I want to share my journey. Why I left the music industry and even creating music, the years I spent lost chasing the wrong things, and how I finally came back. Not for fame, not for numbers, but because creating music is what I was meant to do. This is why I left the music business, and this is why I came back. Let's go back to the year 2017. The year I decided to leave the business. I just came off a few years of living my dreams. I released about 30 tracks on the biggest dance labels, released songs like Arcadia, Déjà Vu and Zodiac that combined over 100 million streams back then. I played shows all over the world, from Tomorrowland to Ushuaia, from Asia tours to Europe tours. It was great on paper, but it didn't feel great. In 2016 I noticed the music I was making, big room EDM, wasn't as popular anymore as the years before. Not only me, but everyone around me was noticing it too. Getting booked and playing shows was not as easy anymore as the years prior. Keep in mind, at this time I was 22 years old and my mindset was completely different from my mindset now. Now I am 32 and have a much better understanding about life. Anyway, let's go back to the end of 2016. Because the big room sound wasn't as big anymore, I was told to do more radio and commercial stuff. This was also the time Spotify became a big thing, and for example Closer by the Chainsmokers was the most popular song in the world. I was, you can say desperately, trying to do the same kind of music, but you can already tell, for me it wasn't working, because I couldn't put my soul into it. So fast forward to a year later, summer 2017, my music wasn't being picked up that great anymore, and my shows weren't paying as much as I used to, so I had to travel alone all the time. Also was stressing a lot about being able to do any shows the months after. So I was looking into other ways to make money and found something that would truly change my life in both good and bad ways for the coming years. I discovered Bitcoin and crypto and I thought I had found the way out. Well, that turned out to be different. I went from extreme high highs to the lowest lows of my life. When 2018 started, I had quit doing shows and stopped making music for a few months already. It felt great at first because I didn't feel the pressure anymore of putting new music out every month. However, it all changed the year after. Having all your money in crypto and basically not knowing what you're doing brought me deep stress and sleepless nights. To make it worse, just a year later in 2019, I basically lost almost everything I had. So all the money I made from music, from touring in the past 5 years too. I was completely lost at this time. I gave up my music career for this life and I lost all money. And now we fast forward 2021. For the past years I was just trying stuff to make it work. Even went back to university for a few months. But of course it didn't work out. Now in 2021 I got the chance to come back in the music industry and was offered a job as A&R at Afrojack in wall recordings. This is the place where I got that itch again to start making music. I worked there for more than 2 years till the end of 2023 and I love to learn more about the business side of the music industry. Something I didn't know anything about. Here I learned what royalties were, how music gets released, the marketing and basically all the work that goes into putting the music out to the world. Being surrounded by other artists all day and seeing them work in high-end studios inspired me to slowly start working on music again. Now fast forward 2024. I was not working at Afrojack anymore and one day I was just going through some music I made and showed my girlfriend something I made in the months before. She loved it and said, "Why don't you just release it on your own?" I never even thought about it. I thought it was never good enough to release it. So a month later I did, and even though the song didn't do well in terms of streams, it was a big step towards releasing music again. Now we go a few months later to the end of 2024 and I mark this moment as the beginning of my comeback. In September 24, I was finally making music again on a daily basis after 6 or 7 years. When I got a text by Revealed asking me if I wanted to play during ADE at their Legacy vs Destiny event, together with Kill the Boss and Mansa. I could not believe it. This couldn't be just a coincidence. The year I finally started making music again was also the year I got asked to do a show again. I will not talk here about fate or religion, but I surely know that this was meant to be. It was the perfect timing. Playing there really brought back so many memories and a feeling I hadn't felt in so long. My girlfriend was with me and she also felt the love we got from the EDM fans. That was the main reason I decided to fully focus on making music, and the goal was to get a release on Revealed again. It still took me 6 more months and a lot of demos and rejections to get to the point of my first release, but it was so worth it. I feel like I'm finally back on the level again where I left in 2017, and maybe even better. I left the music business because I wasn't happy anymore, and I thought that I had to do with making music and touring. But it was never the music part. It was the pressure of being in your 20s and thinking this had to be it. This was the only chance of living your dreams you will ever get. It was too much, so I had to get away for a few years. In those years up till now, I've learned so much about life, and now 8 years later, I realized the whole process of creating and making music is what makes me want to get out of bed in the morning. It is what I'm supposed to do in this life. So I can say with full confidence, I am back. If you've ever walked away from your passion, I hope my story shows that it's never too late to come back. Thanks for watching and make sure to subscribe if you want to follow this new chapter of my music journey.